As we approach the final month of the season, it's time for another edition of Who's Hot and Who's Not, where we look at contenders who have been trending in the right direction and those who need to change their trends as we close out the year. We will start with the Premier Division, the SK Modifieds, with Kyle Rickey.
Bonssa will begin with a driver that has turned the corner in recent weeks, after starting the season ice cold with a raft of mechanical issues. Jonathan Pulio and his number 7 team have definitely come to life with back-to-back top 5 finishes, including a runner-up finish in the most recent race 2 weeks ago. Those top 5s were Pulio's first of the season. And David Arute has been strong as of late, winning his first feature event of the year on August 11th and backing it up with a 4th on August 18th. That 4th place run was well earned, having to recover from his involvement in a lap 7 crash on the back straightaway. After ending the month of July with a win, August did not go the way Marcello Refrano had hoped. A 5th place run would be the high point of the month, while back-to-back finishes outside of the top 15 would be the low, including this wild ride 2 weeks ago that led to a 22nd place finish. Mike Christopher Jr. has been quiet in recent weeks. The second-generation driver has one win this season, coming on June 23rd, but has not made much noise since. Christopher has struggled to finish in the top 10 in the last 4 features, and heavily damaging a second car this season on July 28th hasn't helped. Will a change of the calendar be a change of fortunes for the number 82 team?
There hasn't been many drivers in the late models that have had a solid trend one way or another, but there's a few exceptions. When it comes to who's hot, Michael Ray and that 42 team were fast in August. He won August 4th, then finished 7th after starting in the rear, and most recently finished 4th after starting 14th. Then there's Paul Verrecchio Jr., who comes off back-to-back top 5 finishes. That includes a career-best 2nd place finish last race. Verrecchio had an average finish of just over 4 in August, as he looks to take his new 39 machine to victory lane for the first time. That is who's hot. Now who's not? Andrew Duran started the year with top 10s in 5 of the first 6 races, but the last 2 features have seen nothing but bad luck for the 43 team, getting caught up in accidents both times. Last feature's early wreck resulted in a 19th place finish. Durand is looking to avoid further adversity and go back to stringing some top 10s. And I know Alex Fern is making another appearance in this category. She had a top 5 finish back on August 4th after rebounding from a flat tire. The next week though, the 12 car was heavily damaged in a lap 1 accident, forcing Fern to drive her brother's 32 machine. But Alex could only manage a 12th place finish in that car due to handling. With the Paradiso Insurance Late Model 50 happening this Friday, it's the perfect time for Fern Motorsports to turn their luck around and end the year on a high note. Now let's move to the SK Light Modifieds. Kyle?
With over 30 cars taking the green flag each week in the SK Light Modifieds, there are plenty of drivers on both sides of the spectrum. No one is hotter than George Bissett Jr., winning 2 of the last 3 features, including the most recent race on August 18th. With 5 top 4 finishes in the last 5 races, Bissett has momentum on his side heading into the final month of the season and sits just 8 points outside of the championship lead. 18-year-old Tyler Chapman has also had a consistent second half of the season at the front of the field, winning 3 times and finishing among the top 8 in the last 9 events. Chapman is 3rd in the standings, and if not for some early season bad luck, would be much closer to contending for this year's title. Point leader Brian Sullivan, while he does have 4 wins this season and at one point built a championship lead to over 50, has struggled in recent races. On August 11th, Sullivan gave a few of those points back with a tight race car and 7th place finish. That came before the big hit 2 weeks ago, when Sullivan was involved in a late race multi-car crash, suffering his first DNF of the season and dwindling his point lead to just 8. And defending champion Tyler Berry is looking to find his way back to Napa victory lane, and for that matter, the podium. Since Berry's most recent win on July 7th, Berry has had trouble finding the front of the field, which includes a 19th place run 2 weeks ago after his involvement in a multi-car accident in Turn 4.
It's been a wild few weeks in the street stocks, and in the midst of all that, I have to bring Ryan Waterman back to the Who's Hot category. He started the month of August in victory lane, then finished 7th in a damaged race car after a mid-race penalty. A few weeks ago, Waterman overcame another black flag to finish 2nd after the last lap madness. Has it been smooth sailing? Not at all. But Waterman is still able to make the best of the wildest nights to hold his points lead. Then there's the only driver who has scored back-to-back top 5s, Chris Danielchuk. He brought the Rent-A-Race Car 94 to 5th place 2 races ago for his first ever top 5 finish, before getting the stunning victory 2 weeks ago. A huge boost of momentum for that team, as Danielchuk is hoping to continue that trend and stay up in the top 5 to end the year. As far as who's not, Travis Downey's atop the list. Not his fault. He just got caught in accidents not of his own doing over the last 2 races, resulting in finishes of 21st and 22nd. That's after scoring 3 straight podiums previously. The 42 team had a similar trend at the beginning of the year, and they hope to overcome another tough stretch to find victory lane before season's end. And the last one goes to Brandon Warren. Warren and that 55 team have been consistent top 10 contenders, even top 5, but they've had zero luck as of late. 2 features ago, a slowly deflating tire ended a possible podium run. Then most recently, another flat tire after a spin ruined his top 10 effort. Warren has been progressing throughout the year when it comes to speed, but he's got to find a 4-leaf clover or 2 before the year ends. We now close out the segment with the limited late models and Kyle.
Defending limited late model champion Rich Hammond has been hot as of late. After spending much of the season mid-pack, Hammond has won the last 2 feature events, including an impressive drive from 6th to 1st without the aid of a caution back on August 18th. Kevin Cormier is in search of his first Stafford title in his 2nd season and has been strong all year. In his last 5 races, he has finished among the top 5. That includes a win on August 4th. Cormier is 2nd in the standings coming into September, just 16 points behind former 2-time champion Jeremy Lavoie. Damian Pillardi is looking for an upswing after spending the month of August off of the podium. While winless this season, Pillardi does have 3 third-place finishes, but has not been there since July 7th. Perhaps a bit more speed and luck will find the 87 car back toward the front of the field in the closing weeks. And after a rough start to the season, it appeared that Devin Jensic had found his footing, winning on June 30th. While finishing all the races on the lead lap, Jensic has not been among the top 5 in the last 3 events, mustering a best 6th in the month of August and fading to 7th in points. While only 1 month remains in the season, so much is set to unfold as all 5 weekly divisions are in the home stretch, and all teams wanting to end on a high note. It all continues this Friday with the Paradiso Insurance 50 for the late models.